Okay, hi, I'm Phil Bale. I'm having slight technical difficulties because I can't hear a word and I have no idea what's going on with the technical side of this, so it's slightly confusing. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go with a presentation that I've put together, which I have here, and I'm going to actually start it because that'll help. Okay, so the talk I'm going to do today is the evolution of the Leamington Games Hub. Basically last year, this time last year, we had a panel and a few of us old industry veterans, I think we were called, but we just looked like old chaps, sat on stools, talked about how we got into games and how we were all basically linked together through working together, and where we went from there, how we developed, what we've been doing, and the rest is history, as they say. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So I was going to talk a little bit about how the Leamington Games Hub started, at least my interpretation of it, and how I fit into that that story, that big story arc that is continuing to this day. I'll try and bring it up to date with a bit of where we are now and what we're doing, and then talk a little bit about the future. So for the start of it, obviously every story has a start. This one, we're going to start with Codemasters. The logo's changed a little bit. It's a few miles down the road from here. And in 1988, we had the Darling brothers move from their bedrooms making games, and they went into a stable in Stonythorpe, which is just outside Leamington Spa. And they were in the stable and they were making these games, and then grew that to a much, much larger, I mean, 450, 470 people studio out in Warwickshire. And it's been, for me, I see it as the start of the entire games industry here. So just to explain that, and where those are the people that the panelists that you saw last year featured. The Oliver twins decided that they wanted to do things their own way. They broke away from Codemasters, they set up themselves. All of this has a point, and I'll come back to it. So then Full Fat, again, a couple of people broke off and they wanted to do their own thing. They were providing support for other studios as well, because they were small scale, but have since gone on to make their own games, all within the local area. Playground Games, again, it was the vision of the racing studios, the experience of making racing games, taken and applied to a different format. Nick Wheelwright and Gav Rayburn, they wanted to set up themselves, they wanted to do things their own way. So you can see there's a huge entrepreneurial spirit here, with people wanting to go off and do their own things. And that's driving what has become the hub. Big, again, set up similar time. They wanted to get out and create games their own way. They wanted to do things themselves. Obviously, making racing games or making the other things, the sports titles that Codemasters make, it's not to everybody's long-term love, and they want to try their own things, and so people do move away. Another one was Freestyle Games. So Freestyle was created and produced. The vision behind that was to create music games, a complete departure from the racing titles, but using the same production, design, art, all of those skills that we'd developed, all of the programming skills, taken by a small group of people, some from Codemasters and some from Rare, just up the road in Twycross, to create Freestyle. We've changed. The Oliver twins left Blitz and created Hardlight, which was taken over by Sega. It's still going, even though the Oliver twins have moved into a consultancy role. Pixel Toys was a breakaway from Freestyle. Alex Zorro saw, he wanted to do things. He loved working with the guys at Freestyle, but he wanted to do things himself. So while I was working with Freestyle, Alex moved away and became he set up with Andy to create Pixel Toys, and that's grown from strength to strength. The thing with these is all of these breakaways, they start small and then grow. Others, so Freestyle, Activision decided to pull some of their support from the Freestyle studio. I think wrongly. I think that staying within Leamington with all the talent that's here and seeing where these have gone and what these people have created, I disagree with their decision, but never mind. Alongside Pixel Toys, we've got Third Kind Games, Mad Fellows, Spongehammer with Shaba Berenye. We've got Digimonsters doing support, again, creating support content for games, but also for films. Or we've got Viewpoint Games as well. Mad Fellows, we'll talk about a little bit in a minute, paving the way, revolutionary, if you like, but they were basically working from home from the start. They don't have a home studio, they don't have a hub, and they've just gone out and they've created their own way of working, which, as we'll see, we're all working from home right now. Then Activision decided that they didn't want a studio in Leamington at all, boo hiss. They moved away, and the team that was Freestyle were acquired by Ubisoft, which is where I am now, and very much enjoying it. But we've built on that, where we've trebled the number of people that we started with in that initial acquired state. Pixel Toys has grown hugely. Third Kind is growing steadily. Mad Fellows, Spongehammer is still small. We've still got a lot of small studios. I haven't included everybody here. I haven't included all of the studios that have been created from the breakups of, or the moves away from these studios. I just wanted to pick out a few. We have got other studios in here. I haven't mentioned people like Electric Square, because what I've tried to do here is also suggest that the Codemasters links go further. So Mediatonic have moved into Leamington. Phil Warner, I worked with him at Codemasters. Chris Southall with Sumo Digital, again, worked with him at Codemasters. And Quali, of course, is set up by one of the Darling brothers. The point of this is that we are living in a time of flux and change. The Leamington Spa Hub, the studios that are around, they're ever changing. Blitz has gone, and yet it's left a legacy. Freestyle is gone, but you can see that it's created a lot of other studios, not necessarily in and of itself, but from the people, from the talent that have been working together, forged friendships, and gone on to create these other things afterwards. There are strong bonds, there are cultures that travel between studios, so people want to retain the same way of working, or, as we've seen with Mad Fellows, they've got off and done something slightly different. They've done Horbury and Co. That they've wanted to do something different. They've wanted to do things their own way, and that's what we should all be doing. Is not just working in the same way, doing the same thing every day, but challenging working methods and working methodologies, and doing more, and at least trying things. Yes, we might fail, but we'll keep trying. Codemasters, of course, isn't Codemasters so much anymore. It's been acquired by EA. It might keep the name, it might keep logos and things like that, but it's part of the EA mothership now. So even the company that has spawned so many other companies and developed such a unique, I think, place in the world for the games industry. Codemasters is now EA. It'll move in a different direction. It'll still acquire talent. It'll still spawn other people who want to go off and create, might not spawn people, spawn other companies. People will move from these bigger companies and develop and grow. But that should be seen as a good thing. We should see the transition between these and people moving between these studios as a good thing. We shouldn't necessarily embrace it, but we should certainly wish people good luck, and good luck with their futures as they go off to try things. So now we have this huge arrangement of studios. Okay, I've used a photo that I took a little while ago, and it was a lovely sunny day, a little bit more spring-like than it is currently. The studios that we've got now, we shouldn't just sit and wait. We shouldn't just carry on in the same way that we are. The things we should be doing is looking at where this investment's coming from. Of those studios, we had Sony with Big. We had Microsoft, Playground are part of the Xbox games groups. We've got Ubisoft, we've got, of course, but we've also got Sumo. We've got some big companies coming into the area, recognizing the talent here and wanting to invest their money, but we are the talent. We're the ones that they want to invest in. They want us to be parts of their studios, and you know, we also need to be driving what the hub means, what it is, what we want from it. We should be pushing out to the local council. We should be pushing out to developers and other people. We should be looking at how we can draw together and create this wonderful hub and build it and take it further. Luckily, the local council does recognise that we have this unique situation, and it recognises what we bring, what the games industry brings to Leamington and the surrounding area. So the Warwickshire District Council, they've got the Leamington Creative Quarter project running. It's helped, and it is helping studios find locations. It's helping find studios. It's helping develop and grow and be working together. We've got a problem in that we might need more space, though. One of the things that we have got, and Phil Warner has moved into a wonderful place with his team, Mediatonic, shared space with availability for studios, people or creatives to work together, come together when they need to. So maybe we're all working from home right now, but we're all looking forward to getting back to the studio if in part. So this is something that we need to do, is assess and tell people what we need. So I suggest that we continue talking, discussing it between ourselves, but letting people know what we need, letting the council know. They have been very supportive. As I say, they do want to retain and develop the hub. They want to push the people that we've got to grow. And if you're moving into the area or you have a studio in the area already, they will support you in moving around and taking on new premises. UKI recognises this. The Interactive Futures event was set up by developers, but with the help of UKI and with their involvement, we need to keep working together and pushing our agenda, making sure that we are heard, and the closer we can work together, albeit socially distanced at the moment. But one of the things I'd like to see is more events. We've had events at the drawing board, we've had events within Leamington, small just collections of people meeting, launch events and things like that. The more we can get together, the better. So definitely talk to these people through this event. Use LinkedIn, use the forums here, make those links, make those contacts, and help us grow. COVID obviously is a big thing. It's led to us all working from home. Ubisoft and other studios. I will keep pushing the Ubisoft thing, but I'll try not to too much. But we are all working from home. We're all developing this method of interacting collaboratively. And I mean, we as studios, we've got 38 studios around the world, and we do talk and we do work together collaboratively on projects, but everybody's having to do that from their living room, like myself, or from their bedroom or their kitchen. This is something that we were looking at. It is something that the industry, like I say, Mad Fellows, it is something that people want to do more. They've had the experience. It's been accelerated because COVID has made us do it. But at the same time, once COVID is gone, or at least it's gone enough that we can get back into a more normal life, whatever that new normal looks like, we will have a system of people working from home more. We will have people being able to work in the studio or from home. It is something that we're looking at. We're paying serious attention to. Head office is helping us with this. It is something that all studios will be doing around the world. I imagine that most companies around the world will be doing as well. So developing practices for doing this, sharing methodologies, sharing the way that we do it, looking at the good practice, discussing it in events like the Interactive Futures, coming to some conclusions in terms of setting a benchmark effectively. working together and saying, look, people want to do this, we can do this. Yes, you get tax problems if you get people all around the world doing things like that, but that's a different matter. But within the UK, certainly, people can work around the country. They can meet up at the office. They can use an office as a social hub and coming together and discussing and meeting. But, we will be working more from home together. So what for the future? We're changing, we're growing. We know that we're going to change. We know that we're going to continually see these companies coming. Yes, some of them will go again. Some of them will become something else. Some of them will split up completely. But we should embrace that change. We should look at that as a way of us developing and evolving and taking our cultures out and expanding our influence by sharing it with others, by bringing other people in, by bringing talent in. Brexit, everybody's favourite word last year. COVID's kind of surmounted that, but it's preventing and just changing some of the ways that we recruit. But we are recruiting. We are still bringing people from around the world. It's not going to stop us having rich multinational cultures within our studios. Again, we should look to facilitate this. We should look to bring people together and have more involvement, more interaction. We are a very, very small world at the moment. We can talk to people around the world immediately using all of this wonderful technology. So let's do it. Some of that change and growth, working from home, we will be doing this more. We have to be able to do this. I am aware of the time as well. In terms of the interest in investment, we are a small town. This is something that I've had to explain to head office. It is something that I've had to explain to other studios. We're a small town, but you count the number of studios. I mean, Yuki counted 32 studios and we're employing more than 800 people in the area. That's third in the country, in the UK, in terms of size of population, but the actual amount of the amount of revenue that we create for these companies, for our companies, for ourselves, is substantial, and it's ranking above some of the other areas which are more populous and that you'd expect to have more investment. And I think that being centrally located, Leamington is perfect. So let's continue to grow and develop this. And the big thing really is the talent. We need to focus on our students. We need to encourage them. If you're a student watching this, or you are involved with universities, then make sure that we're bringing people into the areas, we're developing their talents. Ubisoft has got the Ubisoft Gaming School. I am going to plug them, obviously, because I work for them and they're a great company, but we're trying to develop earlier. We're trying to get kids, young people from schools more interested in games from an earlier age. This is partly for a diversity drive, because we've removed the barriers to people joining and being candidates for our jobs. So we're definitely pushing that agenda. We're just definitely trying to get more people interested at a younger age, because we want people to be the engineers, the technicians, the testers, the designers, the artists, and the producers and managers of the future. So lastly, yes, we are recruiting, but so is everybody else. Have a look around, look for the studio that you want, find the studio that provides the mentoring, the development, the support that you need. Talk to people. You've got LinkedIn, you've got social media. Talk to each other, find out the studios that will benefit you, where you can develop, where you can grow, that have a way of you developing a path, a career path, rather than just getting a job. You don't just want a job, you want the job that will benefit you and that you'll enjoy, because it's about enjoying. And if it's working from home that you need, some studios facilitating that now, obviously, because of COVID, but they should be in the future as well. Ask those questions. If you have questions for myself or anybody else from Interactive Futures, then ask. We'll be on the Hoover, am I saying that right? The Hoover throughout the event, but also contact us on LinkedIn. You can find recruitment people, you can find just people, if you want a testing job, if you want a job as a programmer, if you want to know some advice on joining the hub and moving to this area as a studio or as a freelancer, then ask, because someone will be able to answer your questions. I've spoken quickly. I'm going to stop now. So thank you, and I'll see you soon.